More bad news for Californians as the state now ranks the worst for this. Plus, Governor Gavin Newsom caught gaslighting again about the state's massive population decline. All that and more coming up. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a state representative in the state assembly representing District 75. Governor Gavin Newsom likes to say that California is a model. It is the best state. I don't know what state he's been governing and what state he's been living in, but that is far from the truth. All of us know that. We are ranking the worst on all of the metrics: the highest cost of living, the highest crime wave, the worst homeless problem, the worst schools. The lists go on and on and on of bad things. We're always on the top of the lists of the bad things. We're always on the bottom of the lists of all the good things. I want to talk about one of those lists because I think it says a lot about why people are fleeing the state of California. And of course, even on that issue, Newsom continues to lie. Now, before I get into all the bad news about how we rank the worst on this latest indicator, I want to invite you to fight. You don't have to flee the state. You can actually stand and fight. You can stay and fight. We don't have to give up the good things about California because our politicians have done a lot of bad things. In order to do that, we need a plan, and that's where Reform California comes in. Our organization has a plan to take back our state from the insanity of the far left. Now, it's not going to happen overnight, and it's certainly not going to happen because someone gallops in to save us. No one's coming in. No billionaires are coming in to save us in this state. You and I are going to have to save ourselves. We're going to have to save our neighbors and our community, our friends and family. And we're going to do that by working together under the common plan that Reform California has put out to flip target seats around our state, to end the supermajority that Democrats currently have in our state government, and to elect better leaders at every level, from Congress to state, all the way down to local offices like city council and school board. Check out the plan at our website, reformcalifornia.org. That's reformcalifornia.org. It does everything from offering a comprehensive agenda of reform, a 10-point contract to Reform California. Check that out. But it also includes candidate recruitment and support, a variety of media programs that we offer, including this show, to educate Californians on why the Democrats have ruined the state and why there should be an alternative. And of course, we also have programs for the election, both ballot measures and candidate support. Check it out at reformcalifornia.org, chip in a contribution, and please be sure to sign up at the bottom of the website so we can keep you informed as our fight continues. So what list did we get added to? Well, it's this list right here. California is the worst state to raise a family in. Now, this is a list that's out from Consumer Affairs, and it has the best states to raise a family in 2025. But also, because it ranks all the states, including the District of Columbia, so 51 different areas that that you could go to. So 50 states plus the District of Columbia. So there's 51 areas that they're evaluating. They look at the worst states as well. So the best states: Vermont, Maine, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Wyoming, blah, 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 blah. But take a look down here to the worst states. California comes in dead last. Affordability rank, 46 out of 50. I don't know who's more expensive, but I can tell you right now, most of us would say that we're 50 out of 50. Safety rank, 40. We've got one of the worst crime waves. I would say that should be closer to 50. Education rank, 32. Well, the only reason why we're ranking relatively well there is they include the fact that we have in-state tuition discounts. Again, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to give an in-state tuition discount when every other element of our quality of life, our cost of living, is exponentially higher. So some of these numbers are goosed. Pediatric healthcare rank. Again, I think that's an important element, but I think, again, this is what is really boosting California up, probably because we have a lot of socialized medicine in this category. And of course, quality of life, 50. And of course, they have a number of indicators that are underneath those categories. But California is the worst, 51 out of 51, the worst state. Even the District of Columbia, you know you're bad when the hellhole of Washington, D.C. beats you at anything. And yes, it certainly has. D.C. is 46, California is 51. I'm not buying this Texas being number 50. I mean, look at this. Texas is affordable. I would quibble with the safety issue, but pediatric healthcare, apparently they're dinging them there. Quality of life, I guess it's hot and humid in Texas. Is that why they're getting dinged? Well, no. California has good weather. We're still 50. So California, the worst on that list. Now, you know that things are bad because a lot of your neighbors and friends and family are leaving the state of California. They're fleeing rather than staying and fighting. And remember, because we have such a wonderful environment here in California, and there's a lot going for us in California, none of it having to do with government. We are blessed by a whole lot of things. We are cursed by one big thing, and that is our government, our corrupt, out of touch, far left extremist government. In order to convince people to leave, you must be a really bad government. And we are a bad government because they give up the beautiful things about our state, the nice weather for being one of the examples. But you know that people are leaving because here's another list that we are doing poorly on. And that is the Allied, it's called the Allied Van Lines Allied U.S. Migration Report. It shows which states have the most inbound migration versus outbound migration, according to their various indicators. And California is the one of the top outbound states. Illinois was 64% of people were moving out. California 60%. But because California is so big, population-wise, we have the most people of any state leaving and fleeing our state by far. So 60% of people are leaving the state. It would presume that 40% of people are moving in. And why someone would want to move in, man, you got to get your head examined. There's a lot of common sense in why someone would leave, but why someone would move into the state, you'd have to question it. Now, Newsom continues to claim that somehow population is stabilizing. Here is Brad Richards, the governor's press flack. Quote, the California exodus that's been declared over and over again isn't real, according to new figures from the Census Bureau published this week. An addition of almost 250,000 people. This is what we call fake news. This is what we call gaslighting Gavin, lies. Because remember, as we were telling you, starting in 2014, 2016, 2018, at Reform California, we were telling everybody, we are seeing population decline. People are leaving the state. Newsom and the Democrats called us liars. They said, no, you're not. You're not telling the truth. Everyone's moving to California. Everyone loves California. We're adding population. It's crazy what you're saying. Well, then the census comes along and takes several congressional seats away from us. The latest stats show that we're going to lose an additional 4 congressional seats and as many as 6 congressional seats by the time the next census occurs in 2030. But here you have Newsom saying, no, it's all a lie. It's all a lie. Don't believe your lying eyes, your lying ears. Well, you know your friends and family are leaving, and probably many of you are kind of giving the thought to leaving. Now, how do they get to the point where they say that California is not losing population this year, and it was only by a whisker? Well, they're including illegal migrants. That's right. They are adding in immigration from other countries where people are coming in here unlawfully. That's the only thing that is, at least in the last 12 months, keeping California's nose above the water, whereas everyone else, citizens, are leaving. So we're losing citizens, we're losing taxpayers, and instead we're getting non-citizens coming in the door. And then Brandon Richards is now mocking us for pointing that out. He says, wow, saying the quiet part out loud regarding legal immigration. So what they've done is they've called someone coming across the border illegally legal. because they say, well, if they come across the border and they claim that they're politically persecuted, they're a legal asylum seeker. No, it's a scam. It's absolutely a scam. Someone getting into this country illegally basically says falsely that they're being persecuted for their religion, persecuted for their orientation, persecuted for God knows what in their home country, and that's why they should be granted asylum. Well, 80% of cases are decided against them. So they're basically lying to get across the border. It's the loophole that they use to get across the border. Brandon Richards, you are a liar. You know what you're saying is a lie, but you do this. You're getting paid taxpayer money to lie on behalf of our governor. And our governor is a liar as well. And the liberal media that touts and parrots this and protects you, they are liars as well. The whole bunch of you lying because you know that your policies are driving people from our state. Mario Nafal confirms it. New census data reveals Democrat strongholds only grew thanks to foreign migration offsetting massive domestic flight. California lost 239,575 residents to other states, but gained 361,057 illegal immigrants. Unemployment rates, 2.4% in Miami, Florida versus 6% in Los Angeles. The misery index is why citizens in California, taxpayers, job contributors are fleeing our state for more better run states. And California's losing these good people. It's the illegal immigration that is keeping the nose above water. That is not a pathway to success. That is a pathway to failure, misery, and a lot of bad things. So a lot of people are leaving because we rank last on the list that we would like to rank first on, the worst state to raise a family. The worst state to raise a family in 2025, California. As a result, people are leaving. We have a plan to change this. Go onto our website. Check out our 10-point contract to reform California at reformcalifornia.org. Reformcalifornia.org. Check out our plan to fight to flip seats in our state. Not only are we looking to try to recruit good statewide candidates, even a good candidate for governor, but also flip enough seats to end the Democrat supermajority in the state legislature. And of course, we have a number of ballot measures we want to put on the ballot in 2026 to provide common sense reform at the ballot box, including a voter ID initiative, a taxpayer protection initiative, a border security initiative, and more. Check it out at reformcalifornia.org. Chip in a contribution. Sign up as a volunteer to keep yourself engaged in the fight. Until next time, Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California and a California State Representative from District 75 in the State Assembly. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. But before you click away, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification button so you get updated when we post new episodes. Plus, like this video and share it with your friends so that we can help spread our message across the state. Reform California with Carl DeMaio is paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly.